Hey friends, it's Catherine here, sort of on a spur of the moment, just inspiration to just jump on and share a few things with you. This is such a powerful couple of days and actually in through the end of the month that we're going through. And I wrote a little bit about it in my newsletter that just went out. And I thought, you know what, let me just jump on and share it with people because it's really important to begin to have a sense of when there are times where the energy of the universe is supporting us to either release what's no longer serving us or to begin to set intention, right? And bring our desires into manifestation. And, this wasn't something that I always knew about. And I will do a disclaimer right up front. I am not an astrologer. Hey, Tori, I am not a numerologist. I'm not an expert in these things. However, I am fascinated by all of them. And over the past 30 years have really become a student of them. So, like they say, I know just enough to be dangerous, right? But I do know enough that I follow people and I study with people and I have connections with people who are the experts in these things. And so I feel like, there's a part of me that went to school initially to become a librarian. I love information. I love research. I love sharing, most of all, the things that I have found that have been helpful for me in my life and that I know are helpful for other people who practice these things, who study them, who really organize their lives around them, even in a more consistent and probably deeper way than I do. I kind of scratch the surface, I dive in. But all of that being said, I wanted to share where we are right in this moment in time to give you the opportunity to take advantage of the energies, of the power, of the potential that is really present in the energy right now. So nothing like the present. So let's talk about today. Today's 12/12, right? And every year we celebrate something that's called the 12/12 portal. So when the day and the month are combined, which obviously takes place in every month, right? 11/11 or 10/10 or 9/9, but this is the last day month combination of this year. And it's a powerful cosmic alignment. One, because 12 is such a powerful number in so many spiritual traditions. And in so much of how we live our lives. We have 12 months. We have 12 signs of the zodiac. Our day is 24 hours. It's divided into two 12-hour segments. In some religions in the Bible, it's believed that Jesus had 12 disciples. There are 12 tribes of Israel. There are, for those of us who believe that we come from the stars, there are 12 star seed nations who came together to create this experience called life on Earth, right? Almost as a playground. Sometimes not so much fun. Sometimes I feel like I keep falling off the seesaw or, the thing that spins around and I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? But this is a beautiful playground of Earth that in my belief system and many others was actually seeded by star nations. So in other words, the number 12 holds a lot of power in many spiritual and metaphysical ways. It also represents completion, harmony, and connection between the earth and the divine. And if you know me at all, you know that this is kind of my jam, right? Co-creating heaven on earth, creating the way we live in relationship to the earth and to each other so that this becomes our heaven. And heaven is not something outside of us. It feels like a big dream right now as there's so much going on in the world that feels like the opposite of that, right? Harmony, completion, connection, connecting to the earth and to each other. But as I wrote in my newsletter that went out last night, I absolutely believe that what we are experiencing now is sort of the last gasp of a patriarchy that is trying to hold on to its power structure in every way that it can. And there's many, atrocities and a lot of harm being done as a result of that. I do believe we're in a period of ascension and transformation, and then that will shift. So anyway, that's the connection, the earth and the divine, right? We are spirit in human form. We are human beings and we are souls in this human body. So this connection to heaven and earth runs through everything, the material and the etheric. So this year, 12/12, today, is particularly potent. It'll be sort of at its maximum power because it's also coming on the same day-night, as the new moon in Sagittarius. So we are in new moon energy tonight. And, new moon energy, just like full moon energy, is a period of days, but we are on the actual day of the new moon today. And so new moons are always about setting intention. What seeds are you planting? What would you like to come to be birthed? The last gasp of the patriarchy. You like that, Tori? So, seeds being planted in the new moon. And so this synergy between 12/12 and the new moon in Sagittarius aligns with this harmony of the transformative energy of the new moon. It's kind of beginning to pave the way for these shifts in our beliefs, in our manifestations, both for ourselves and in the world. So this is a really powerful cosmic alignment. It symbolizes really a way to higher consciousness and spiritual awakening, which I'm all in for. And I know if you follow me, you are probably in for it. You've probably been in it for years, right? This ascension process, this awakening process, this rebirthing process, these labor pains that Mother Earth and humanity are going through right now. But again, this really very powerful portal right now with the completion, the harmony, the connection, the earth, the material, the divine. And so what does that mean? It means it's time to tap into our inner power, to harness our own spiritual forces, our superpower, our intuition, our empathic abilities, our seeing, sensing, hearing, feeling, touching, smelling, knowing intuitively. It's time to transcend the limits of the physical body and what we've been told we are capable of or not capable of. And embrace our divine essence, right? I said it a moment ago. We are spirit in form. And, I heard that years ago. I was like, yeah, that sounds cool. Hey, Laura, hey, that's, great. We're spirit in form. But, 30 years on this path, I've come to understand that a little more deeply. And really understanding that this process that all of us are going through here in Earth School is about bringing in more of that spirit, more of the soul, if you will, our connection, our individualized but connected aspect of the divine into this dense 3D form, right? And we have to be doing our healing work. We have to be doing our clearing work and raising our vibration and making room for the soul to take up more space than the ego, right? And this has really been the journey that I've been on personally, and also, do my best to try to take my clients on and my students. So this particular synergy of 1212 and the new moon in Sagittarius invites us really to delve deeper into these spiritual practices to honor your authentic version of the divine, because only you are that, right? There's no other being in the universe that has the unique spiritual DNA, past life experiences, ancestry, North Star, soul purpose. Nobody. You alone are responsible for diving in and tapping into your unique, authentic beingness, right? And the plan that you and the universe made together for you to come here. Because as I said in the post that I in the blog that I attached to my newsletter yesterday, like, you could have chosen to stay over there with the unicorns and the fairies and the angels, right? Singing or doing whatever you would do all day, but your soul chose to come here now. Right? No fooling around about this. And whatever you have been through, and I know some of you have been through a lot, it is all in service to your soul's higher purpose. So I'm just going to let that sit in. I'm going to say a few more things about the number 12 and this 1212 portal. So in numerology, the number 1 represents the divine masculine. The number 2 represents the divine feminine. And if you know, in numerology, we add numbers up, right? And then what do you call? Break them down to the whatever the core seed, whatever number it is. And so when we add the 1 of the divine feminine and the 2 of the divine masculine, we come to the number 3, which actually represents the divine child. So for me, this is speaking to the rebirth, the birth or rebirth of Christ consciousness energy. We have the energy of the divine masculine, not the egoic masculine. We have the energy of the divine feminine, not the egoic, victimized feminine, coming together in their highest form to create the divine child, right? The Christ consciousness, which again is what we are anchoring here on this planet right now, because this is what's going to change the vibration. This is what's going to allow the shift that will help us to create heaven on earth. So it's the perfect moment right now to embrace the slowing down, the quiet of this season, engaging in self-reflection, paving the way for this new chapter in your life as we come into 2024. Again, I'm not an astrologer, but I was listening, I don't know whether it was to Chani. Anyway, I was listening to an astrologer today talking about the energies of 2024. And Uranus is going to be moving into Gemini in that time. Again, don't ask me any more than that, but Uranus is the energy of the revolutionary, right? The rebel. So I love that energy, right? Uranus is going to shake things up, and it's going to do it in Gemini, which is around duality, right? The twins and communication. So we are going to be seeing a lot of change and a lot of shaking up and a lot of new creative ideas coming in 2024. So I've read. So I hope. I'm counting on it. All right. So that's today, the 12-12-23 portal. You can just take what I've just kind of laid down for you and decide if you want to do some kind of ritual, some kind of ceremony. Go stand out, wear your coat. If you're in the Northeast, a little cold out there tonight, stand out under the new moon and set your intention. plant the seeds that you want to begin to take root and bloom, right, at the time of the full moon. So the next thing I want to share is Mercury in retrograde. Everybody goes, oh, Mercury in retrograde, right? And I share this with you not because I want these astrological events or movements of the planets or the sun to rule your life, but just to let you kind of know what's going on in the field so that, you know, if you start running into some things, you might take a moment and say, okay, well, what's going on here? Like, is this me? Is this somebody else's energy? Did I just pick this up? Is this something going on, you know, cosmically? Because all of that is always very, very helpful, right? Everything isn't just you and what's going on in your little world. So Mercury will go into retrograde about 2 o'clock this tomorrow morning, but as we go through tonight into tomorrow. And it will be in retrograde until January 1st or 2nd, right? Late night, January 1st. So, and this happens, 4 times a year? I think Mercury goes into retrograde for 3 weeks. And it's an appearance, in the way that Mercury is moving in its orbit, it appears to move in the opposite direction of the other planets. It has to do with distance and time and space and all of that stuff. So that's for someone much more educated in this than I am. But when Mercury goes into retrograde, sometimes things can get a little wonky. And that is because Mercury rules the mind and communication, as well as travel, commerce, and technology. That's why we often, when people hear Mercury in retrograde, they're like, oh, right? No, because it can create things like communication issues, technology problems, problems in travel. You know, the flight gets canceled, or the weather is bad, or the tickets got screwed up, or you left your luggage in the Uber, you know, whatever it might happen to be. These kinds of things, as well as sometimes people from the past coming back into your life, and you're like, where did that come from, right? Why are they showing up right now? So, you know, Mercury in retrograde tends to get a bad rap. But actually, because it's slowing down, which is what's causing the problems, it's a perfect time to do what I call the R things: reviewing, reevaluating, recalibrating, redistributing, redoing, rethinking, reclaiming, reviewing, right? All of the things, again, like, let's do this again. Let's take some time and see if I really want to recommit to this person, job, volunteer, to this thing that I agreed to. Let's go back and revisit some of the things that happened in 2023. Are there things that I would like not to repeat again? Or are there things that I would like to do more of, right? So this is actually a great time at the end of the year. You know, as I said, this is going to move us right into the new year, to review, to recharge, to recommit if you want to, recalibrate, right? And just take a look at the things that went well and the things that didn't go so well. So you might want to correct mistakes that you may have overlooked and learn from decisions that you made and the energy that you were in when you made them, and, you know, recognize whether that works for you or doesn't work for you, and change course. This is a perfect time to do that. So just, you know, looking at this Mercury in retrograde time as an opportunity to, again, slow down, dive deep, do the inner work, and then, you know, begin to see the blossoming of something different in your life. And then next we have the winter solstice. This is a little further out, right? This is December 21st and 22nd, but you know, not that long, not 10 days from now, 10 days from now. So most of you know this, but winter solstice is a day when the North Pole is the furthest away from the sun, right? It's the shortest day of the year here in the Northern Hemisphere and the official start of winter. And, you know, there's so many myths and legends attached to the winter solstice and very much connected with spirituality and faith, right? And we know that our ancestors attached a lot of importance to the solstice going way back into prehistoric times, you know, back to 3000 BC with Stonehenge, and even 5,000 years ago for Newgrange in Ireland, right? So the main stones at Stonehenge align perfectly with the sun during the solstice in the winter and the summer. And in Newgrange, which is again over 5,000 years old, it's completely illuminated by the sun at sunrise. And that only happens once a year. So we know that our ancestors spent thousands of years mapping and paying attention to the movement of the sun and the moon and the stars and the planets. And certainly that helped them create a very deep connection to nature, not only the earth, but to the cosmos. But it also determined their abilities to survive, right? In where they were living. When was it going to be time to grow? When was it going to be time to hibernate? When was it going to be, you know, time to fish? And it really shaped imagination and culture and allowed our ancestors to live as close to the earth as they did. And we also know that many of our traditions today are taken from ancient tradition, right? Ancient Scandinavians celebrated the Feast of Yule in Kairos Academy, Healing Academy, which I'm in. We celebrate the Wheel of the Year, and Yule, it's more of the pagan, you know, or the earth tradition. And it's really about bringing light into the season of dark, right? In China, there's Zongai Festival, worshiping the heavens and the ancestors. So whatever you call it, it's typically a bringing in of the light, an honoring of sort of, again, coming inward, but also celebrating in community, sharing food and drink, balancing both joyous celebration and personal reflection. So again, if we can bring more of that energy into our season of light, you know, less of the marketing and the buying and the running around like crazy people, but finding your own ways to bring in the light, to honor the season of slowing down, which is, you know, our bodies are made to slow down at this time of year, and going deep, doing a deep dive into your own self, your own psyche, at this time of year, rather than being so busy crazy. So we've got the solstice coming up on the December 21st and 22nd. And the final thing that I want to mention here, which is much more personal to me, is that we will be doing our 7th annual Burning Bowl ceremony at the end of the month. So Sunday, December 31st, 2023, at 5 p.m. Eastern, I will be doing our annual Burning Bowl, virtual Burning Bowl ceremony. And it's an opportunity to come together on Zoom, spending some time in quiet reflection, doing some releasing. We use the power of the violet flame and the energy of Saint Germain to do our releasing. We spend some time in meditation. We do some journaling around what it is that we would like to create and manifest in 2024 for ourselves and for the world. And it's just a really lovely, quiet ceremony where we do some reflection, we do some releasing, we do some intending, and then we do a little ceremony with our intentions as we move into 2024. So I'm gonna put the link to register for that. I do require people to register for it. It is free. And if you are unable to attend in person, if you're registered, you will be able to receive the replay, and then you can, really do it anytime in that sort of new year, the beginning of the year, in the first week or so. So, my friends, I think that's it. I hope you found this information interesting, useful in some way. I certainly hope that you'll take the opportunity over the next couple of days to take some quiet time, whether you have an altar or, a candle, a crystal. It doesn't have to be extravagant, but just a place to sit with the intention that you're going to turn inward and connect with whatever is wanting to be coming through for you, as maybe things that are ready to be released, and also ready for things that would like to be birthed through you in this new year. So many blessings to you on this 12/12 portal new moon evening. And thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you again soon. Bye now.